I don't think there was one single moment when it happened. It was more like a quiet clicking sound in the back of my mind, a slow alignment of small, ugly truths that I had been pushing away for years. For the longest time, I blamed everyone else. I blamed my coworkers for not understanding me, my friends for not reaching out enough, my family for being distant. I told myself I was the reasonable one, the one trying to keep things together, while everyone else kept getting it wrong. That story became a shield, something I carried to justify every cold response, every cutting remark that slipped from my mouth when I felt cornered. I called it honesty, but it was really cruelty dressed up as conviction. It's strange when you repeat a lie to yourself long enough, it stops sounding like a lie. I think I believed every word of it, right up until the day I saw the way someone I cared about flinched when I raised my voice. Not a dramatic moment, no screaming or breaking things, just that small human reaction, that reflex of fear. It wasn't fear of what I might physically do, but of what I might say next, what I might destroy with my words. And in that second, something in me, something loud, went completely silent. I remember standing there afterward, surrounded by the debris of yet another argument I had won. I felt the familiar rush of relief, the addictive sense of being right, but underneath it was a strange stillness. I started thinking about how many of my victories felt hollow, how often I found myself standing alone after proving a point. I thought about every conversation I had replayed in my head later, only to realize I hadn't been listening at all, just waiting for the right moment to twist someone's own words against them. That night, I sat in my car long after the light in the house went out. I didn't cry. I didn't feel dramatic remorse. It was more like suffocating under the weight of realization how much energy I'd spent building an identity that revolved around being misunderstood, how convenient that had always been. Because if everyone else was the problem, I didn't have to change. I could stay the martyr, the one doing his best in a world that didn't appreciate it. The next few weeks were quiet. I started noticing how people hesitated before speaking to me, how some stopped altogether. My messages went unanswered more often, though no one said anything directly. There was no confrontation, no dramatic fallout, just distance. And in that silence, I saw the trail I'd left behind. Broken trust, exhausted patience, conversations that ended sooner than they should have. It's humbling, realizing that the chaos you complain about might actually start with you. I used to say I hated drama, but now I can see how often I created it just to feel in control, to feel alive in the emptiness I had built around myself. Admitting that isn't noble. It's nauseating. There's no comfort in the truth when it shows you how much damage you've done in the name of self-preservation. Sometimes I try to pinpoint where the slide began, maybe in childhood, maybe in the way I learned to argue my way out of trouble by bending reality into something just slightly more flattering. Every lie I told came with a reason. Every reason came with logic, and soon the logic became armor too thick to see through. I carried that into adulthood without ever questioning the cost. Now, when I think about the people I've hurt, I don't have excuses left. I want to apologize, but even that feels selfish, like one more attempt to ease my own conscience rather than actually heal what I broke. The hardest part, I think, is that there's no moment of redemption waiting. Realizing you're the problem doesn't magically undo anything. It just sits with you, quiet, persistent. Like a stain you can't wash out no matter how hard you try. Even now, I catch myself slipping back into old patterns. I start to justify, to explain, to rationalize, and then I stop mid-sentence, realizing it's happening again. That little voice in my mind still wants to be right, even as I know how poisonous that need is. I don't know if people ever truly change, or if we just learn to hide our worst instincts better. I wish I could end this with clarity, with some triumphant revelation about becoming better, but I can't. All I know is that there's a line between self-awareness and self-forgiveness, and I haven't crossed it yet. Maybe I never will. Maybe that's the real punishment. Understanding exactly what you did wrong and knowing it's far too late to be the person you thought you were.